I loved Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He gave great speeches and his leadership inspired and galvanized the people. But by the end of his life, he seemed to have realized that he had integrated his people into a burning house. It was like we left our businesses behind and our power got scattered. It became apparent that our main goal should have been economics. Back in the day, we had our own. Our dollars stayed with us and our communities thrived. It's time for us to move past our trauma as a people, favor each other and commit to the staunch support of our businesses. Well, it's time for us to rebuild. ishop.black is an opportunity for us to renew the spirit of Black Wall Street now, when we began to pool our nearly $2 trillion buying power on this platform. It's time to unify and again begin to circulate our dollars among our own at ishop.black. Join us at ishop.black. Let's make every dollar count when we buy and sell with our own. Come set up your online store with us. Let's build our future together. For a limited time, only take advantage of 25% off on all subscriptions on ishop.black. You can have your store up and running for our lowest price ever, around $26 per month. Offer expires September 30th, 2024. Scan the QR code below.
Join us for our tech podcast on Sundays at noon.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Ladies and gentlemen, Diddy made a court appearance today trying to seek bail for the second time, and he was denied. And there was a little more that came out. At the time when they detained Diddy, he had opioids and pink powder at the place he was staying. So it is apparent there is some real drug addiction there. And many of you that have been with me for a long time know I used to always talk about opioids when I first came onto YouTube. And one of the things I mentioned was the withdrawal is very difficult. They said it is one of the worst out of all the drugs you can be on. Opioid addiction is number one, the hardest to beat. Very few people beat it, and it is extremely painful. And you have to think about this. He's been detained now for 2 days. He's got to be in agony. He's got to be in agony, y'all. The withdrawal is going to be tough. And on top of the withdrawal, he's got to make these court appearances. Yeah, trust me, he's in agony. I was wondering why he was willing to put so much money up for bail. $50 million. That's a lot of money. But if you're going through a drug withdrawal and you're craving the drug and you're going through all that pain, you just want it to stop. So, if he gets out, then he can get back to the drug. But I don't think they're going to let Diddy out, y'all. I think he's going to have to stay until his trial date. Right now, because of the kind of charges they are, that he is facing, it's just, I just don't see him getting out. I really, truly don't. I don't. And this is what happened. So he appeared once again in federal court Wednesday, September 18th, a day after a judge in Manhattan told him he would remain detained until his trial. So he is in jail in Brooklyn, and he was denied bail during his arraignment in Manhattan's federal court on Tuesday and then denied again on Wednesday. And he was before a different judge when he was denied for the second time. Combs' legal team promptly appealed to the judge's decision to deny bail and returned to court the following afternoon. In a September 17th letter to the judge, Combs' lawyer described conditions at Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn as horrific and not fit for pretrial detention. Yeah, well, he was living large all the way up until that point. Yeah, that is a major fall from grace. So his defense proposed in court Wednesday that Combs live at home alone in Florida with a 24/7 security team that would monitor a pre-approved guest list. He offered to give up any access to a cell phone or internet. And in the words of his lawyer, he would do nothing but prepare for his trial. The judge, whose name was Andrew L. Carter Jr., said that there was no condition or combination of conditions to ensure he will not obstruct justice or tamper with witnesses. So they're pretty much saying is he is a danger to the public and they don't want to let him out. So Combs, he was dressed in the same black shirt and gray striped sweatpants he wore, on Tuesday. So he was in the same clothes on Wednesday. And they said he was looking down at the defense table as he heard the judge's decision. In a 14-page indictment unsealed in the Southern District of New York Tuesday, Combs was charged with one count each of racketeering, conspiracy, trafficking by force, fraud, coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Calling Combs a serial abuser. This is what the DA was saying. Emily A. Johnson said in court Tuesday that the rapper had demonstrated a pattern of abuse and for years been undeterred by law enforcement. He is an extreme danger to the community, she added. So, prosecutors alleged in the indictment obtained by People that Combs allegedly coerced women to participate in freak offs, described in the indictment as highly orchestrated performances. So, we know what Diddy was into. We knew long before he was detained. The secret recordings were alleged then. And y'all, you know what else I heard today? That the Kardashians appear on a lot of the video evidence that the feds were able to obtain from those mansions, the Miami and LA mansion that he had. And they said they appear a lot. And somehow I'm not shocked about that. So, they said he used the recordings to silence his victims, threatening their careers and their livelihoods, including if they resisted participating in freak offs. This is according to the indictment. So it alleged that the women were sometimes injured during the freak offs, It alleged that Combs hit, kicked, and threw objects at and dragged victims at times by the hair, causing injuries that took days or weeks to heal. Now we know he did that to Cassie. And they do name witnesses, but by number, by number. And according to the prosecution, there were more than 50 witnesses that they have, many of whom had witnessed the alleged violence, and that law enforcement had gathered more than 90 cell phones, laptops, iCloud accounts, along with additional thumb drives and other devices that supported the charges in the indictment. I told y'all, as soon as they raided those mansions, the fact that they didn't say anything, I knew it had to be bad, because if they didn't have nothing on Diddy, that's one thing. They would have came out right away and said, we didn't find no evidence of any wrongdoing. But they didn't do that. They just stayed silent, which means they were building their case based on what they took out of those mansions in Miami and LA. They were on top of all the witnesses that came forward and spoke, and they said they got more than 50 witnesses. During the March raids of his home in Florida and California, law enforcement allegedly recovered 3 AR-15s, disassembled, with the serial numbers filed off. Johnson's said, okay, that's what this is according to the prosecutor. In the indictment, prosecutors further alleged that they found more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil lubricants, which they said was typically used in the freak-offs. In court Tuesday, Johnson likened the rapper's case to the R&B artist R. Kelly. Yeah, and also Jeffrey Epstein and Keith Rainier. So anyway, y'all, this doesn't look good. I tell you what, if this thing goes to trial, I really truly think Diddy is never, ever getting out of prison. I think they're going to detain him for the rest of his life. I really do. So once again, they propose a $50 million bond to secure the rapper's $48 million residence and mortgage, of which his lawyer said he had paid off in anticipation of the indictment. So they also allege substance abuse, what seems like anger issues. Yeah, well, a lot of times with drug addiction, you have anger issues, and that's something I had to learn about, because I used to be around addicts and they would just fly off the handle over everything. And that's part of the addiction, all that anger. So anyway, they said, I don't know that you can trust yourself not to harm people. So this is according to the judge, and this was a magistrate judge. Leaving court Tuesday, Combs turned to his family seated in the third row and touched his hand to his heart as a pair of U.S. Marshals escorted him out. So that's what happened, y'all. That's what happened. But, when they denied him the first time, they put him in front of a different judge. And a lot of times these judges are not going to go against what another judge's ruling was. So it's not shocking that they didn't let him out. And, I don't think there's very much his attorneys can do about that. But y'all, tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.